Good morning, everyone. Glenda Mollett here, and I'm back in my craft room today. Oops, bad hair day. We arrived home from Tofino on Tuesday, in the sunshine. We had an awesome time, but now it's time to have some fun in the craft room. So I thought I'd just say, hey, everybody on here, and then I will flip you around, and we're going to make two cards today if we have time. They're some really easily adaptable layout that you can do for any occasion and basically use any stamp set you want. All right, let's get things going here. I am going to be doing more Facebook Lives in the upcoming days. I miss having classes with everyone, so this is going to be a fun alternative way to do that. So I'm just checking to make sure we're oriented properly, and I'm going to show you the recipes for these two cards. I was going to go to a local group on the first Monday in April and make these cards with them. Well, give them the opportunity because they're very creative and they do their own thing. But, of course, that's canceled now, so I can't. But I can still use the cards. I just have to wait till we can all get together again, and we'll stamp with different images. We don't have to say Happy Easter or Happy Father's Day, but that's what we're going to say today. And I'm going to change out the stamped images on here, just to show you how versatile it is. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Carol. Thanks so much for joining me. All right. Okay, North Dakota. I'm thinking that's what ND stands for. Jean, I have your card all ready to go in the mail today. I just have to go to the post office, which scares me at this point in time, but I'm going to do it. Okay, so for these two cards, we're going to use basically the same supplies. I'm just going to change out the designer paper in the background and the two images so that you can see that you can do it with anything. So the first one, the bunny one, I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece for the inside, and I always add an extra piece on the inside. Isn't that bunny cute? I love it. So I add an extra piece on the inside because sometimes your front ends of your cards get so heavy they tend to tip over. And by putting an extra piece inside, that alleviates the issue. Then we have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of designer paper. And this is from the In Color designer paper pack. And it's just going to go on there. And they're double-sided. So just because I'm using the plaid one doesn't mean you have to. And then that's in soft sea spray. Soft sea spray. Been a while since I've been stamping, and I'm losing it. Jean, things are going in Canada. We're not in lockdown yet, but I suspect that it is coming, if not partially coming. We just have to be adaptable and figure out different ways to get our groceries and stuff. So I have a piece of soft sea spray cardstock for the background die cut. This was the one I'm going to do the image on, and this is for the sentiment. So for the masculine one, once again, we have an inside piece, and this is what the inside looks like. So this one, I just carried it through just like, and I didn't do any coloring on this because this is really fussy coloring, and if you want to, you can color, but you don't have to. And a piece of, okay, it's the golf one. It's a piece of Country Club designer paper, 5 1/4 by 4. And see, it's double-sided. So if you have a golfer in your family, you could do that and then put this on because it kind of looks like a golf cart. I'm going to use the plaid side. A piece of Night of Navy cardstock, a piece of Whisper White for the image, and a piece for the sentiment. Okay. So we're using today, let me get my supplies out here, Memento ink. It's all Memento ink. I'm going to use the chick image on this, and I'm going to color it in Daffodil Delight and some dark pumpkin pie. And I have my hand sanitizer ready because we've been away for a while, and I was feeling a little phlegmy yesterday, and I'm not wanting to share this. Okay, so the dies to cut out the sentiments come from the Sending Flowers dies, and this is still available till the end of March. We're using the Welcome Easter stamp set. This is from the, what are they calling it? The Spring Mini Catalog, the January to June Mini Catalog, whatever they're calling it. So it's going to be still available after the end of March. I pulled the two circle dies out of the stitch shaped. The Happy Father's Day comes from Well Said. And do you do this when you have a stamp set that comes in two pieces? I just stick them both in the same box because it doesn't look like I have as many stamp sets that way. And I can fool hubby. Not that he comes in here and says, oh my God, how much have you got? Good morning, Val. Okay. And I'm going to use the sailboat on there from Sailing Home, because one of these cards is going to one son and one's going to the other son, and they have separate interests. Well, they both have a water interest, but one lives by the water and one doesn't. You can also use Best Catch if you have a fisherman in your life. You could use this fisherman dude, and there's a die to cut him out. So you could still use him and just move your circle over a bit. And you could even use the fisherman dude. You don't have to use the fish. Or you could use Geared Up Garage. And I used Pedal to the Metal, which I didn't get out. There we are. Pedal to the Metal on this one, my original one. Okay, let's get things laid out here. Apparently I didn't turn my sound off on my computer, so let me just do that so you don't have to listen to the beepy, beepy, beepy all the time. I have put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I had to let my grandsons know because they've discovered the kids' messenger app. And now that we're all sort of quarantined, staying home, I played on dice through Facebook videoing yesterday with our oldest grandson. It was fun. He was doing all the rolling. I was doing all the losing. Yeah, we had, we went Sunday, so we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We had 10 days in Tofino. And we played cards and dice and all sorts of games. The entire 10 days we were out there, and I think I won 3 times. Not 3 times each game, 3 times in total. Because they're sharks when it comes to cards and games, which is fun. I think they deserve to be sharks. But I don't let them win. They win all on their own. We got a new game this time called Monopoly Deal. I know it's not new, but it's new to us. So we had fun learning that. Each time we go, I try to figure out a... Zoom out a bit, your cards are cut off. Okay, can't zoom out a bit. Let me see if I can raise it up. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to raise it up a bit. Sorry. I know this goes up. There we go. There. How's that? Is that better? Just means I'm probably not going to be able to read the comments on my phone now. So I'll have to keep going back to the computer. So, but anyways, yeah. So we played a lot of games out in Tofino. We did a lot of beach walking. I think we averaged 15,000 steps a day, which is 3 walks on the beach. But we had to come back early because of this COVID thing. And they actually shut the campground down and asked us all to go home. It's okay. Next year we're going back again. All right, so I'm going to cut the biggest of the stitched circles out of the Seaside spray. And if you don't have dies and a die cutting machine, you can always use punches. Punches work too. I just like the stitch detail on these things. It makes it a little bit funner. Funner, is that a word? Oh well, it is now. Okay, so I've got that. Good morning, Diana. Sorry, I just have to take a quick drink. Okay. Now, put these out of the way because I have to do some stamping. We're going to stamp the chick in Memento, and remember with Memento it's a tap and twist, and just stamp that right in the middle there, just like that. Now, while I have the ink open, I'm going to stamp the Happy Easter as well. So just put your stamp down and run your finger back and forth on it. Then you get a perfect image every time. Okay, close that up. Now we're going to cut out the chickie with the next size down stitched circle die, and I'm just laying it out, centering it, and I think I smudged it. Oh well. We'll just have to make do. There we are. So I'm going to try to figure out something for classes. I'm going to start sharing classes online. So if you're in Canada, you'll be able to order the kits. And if you're out of town, I'll mail them out to you. And if you're not out of town, I ask that you could please pick them up. And then I will do an online Zoom or Facebook Live or something, so that we can stamp them all together. So it's basically going to be card kits in the mail, but I am not allowed by Stampin' Up rules, and a lot of the other stamp companies as well have the same rules. You're not allowed to stamp images and sell the images. So I'm trying to make them versatile, that you could basically use whatever stamp sets you have at home. I just put a bit of dark Daffodil Delight on there, and I'm going back and kind of blending it all in. And you do that in a circular motion. Just like that. Get lots of ink on there. Then it eventually starts to shade together. And then I'm leaving in the middle nice and light. Okay, now on the body. Yeah, so I know I only do Facebook Lives once. Well, I have been only doing them once a week, but they're going to be more. I'm hoping to do at least 3 times a week while we're all stuck at home and needing some distraction. So what time do you think would be a good time for me to do these? Because Thursday mornings is at 9 o'clock, but I don't have to stick to 9 o'clock. I can do it whatever time. Do you want later? Do you want to keep the same time? Do you want to do later morning or early or later afternoon? I'm not doing them in the evening because sometimes my brain function is not good in the evening and it could be a disaster. Just adding a little bit of the dark Daffodil Delight onto the body and blending it in. And then I'll check for comments. You can let me know what times you think I should do my Facebook Live. Because basically I can do them anytime. Because I'm not going anywhere. I have to get groceries at some point. But going out to get groceries, frankly, scares me. The picture of your girl, Valerie? Oh, right, your daughter that I met on the beach. Man, I'll tell you, my memory is really bad. So we were in Tofino with some friends from the same city that Valerie lives in. And everywhere she goes, she runs across people from that same city. It doesn't matter if we're in Costco or on a beach or what. And we were just commenting as we're walking down the beach that she hadn't met anybody that she knew yet. So, lo and behold, down at the other end of the beach, there's a Bichon puppy. And she has Bichons and she loves Bichons. So she went over to the puppy to say hi. Turns out it was somebody she knows from her hometown. And they were there with Valerie's daughter. So I got to meet Valerie's daughter too. Yeah, it was good in Tofino. We enjoyed it. Started out having lots of people on the beach. Lots of campers in the campground. And then they kept telling everybody to go home. Or not telling, asking everybody to go home. And then they shut down the potties and the washroom facilities. So those that were tenting had no choice because there was nowhere for them to go to the washroom. So they all nipped out and left. And then we were down to just a few self-contained units. And then they came around on Monday and said the campsite is closing. So we'd appreciate it if you went home. So I'm just putting this, I've finished coloring and then I layered it on top of the Seaside spray piece. And I put dimensions on the Seaside spray so that it brought it up off the card base a bit. Oh, just not early AM? Yeah. Why get up unless you have to, right? Okay, so now this die doesn't quite fit, so you kind of have to center it in there up and down. And then after you get it cut, you'll see that it actually does fit because the cutting edge is not right in the center. Maybe I'll stick to mornings then. Maybe I will up it a bit and we'll do maybe 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll see how it goes. So there's my Happy Easter. I'm going to put dimensionals on that as well. So we didn't get to eat at all the places in Tofino and Ucluelet that we normally go to because, of course, they were all closed. We did get our walk on the beach, the Wild West Coast Trail, starting at the lighthouse. Watched some humpback whales come in because it's whale migration season and we could see them going north. Okay, now I'm going to do this cute little dude on the inside. But I need my scrappy paper. Look, I have a clean piece. It's not dirty and ugly like it was. Alright. Just going to stamp. I think I'll stamp this chicky over here in this corner. Oh, might as well do envelope while I'm at it, because these have to go in the mail. Yeah, so we did manage to get to Tacofino. Their food is amazing. It started out in an old bus. I don't remember whether it's a school bus or just like a bus. But that's where they started in Tofino. And we went online to see where else they are. And apparently they have a whole bunch. Oh, look, it's still wet. They have a whole bunch of food trucks and restaurants now open in Vancouver and Victoria. Okay, I didn't let this dry enough. Apparently I have a really juicy memento pad, and that's why I'm having issues that it's not dry. So we did get to eat there. Fish tacos, and I had a fish burrito. Oh my goodness. They are so good. I got a fork and I ate all the inside. I didn't eat the wrap part. But it was good. And we're sitting there. A funny story. We're sitting there talking, and that was back before the social isolation thing where you have to stand 10 feet apart now. Because COVID hadn't really started yet when we went out there. So anyways, we're sitting there at Tacofino eating, waiting for our lunch to be ready. And we got chatting to the people that we were sitting beside, because you eat family style sort of there. There's lots of big tables with chairs at them, and you just sit where there's room, so you're sitting right next to other people, and you get chatting, because that's what you do when you're sitting so close to somebody, and that's what you do when you're in Tofino. So we were talking to this guy, and we asked him where he's from, and he said Port Alberni. And I looked at him and I said, "You live on such and such a street." He looked at me, he said, "Yeah, how do you know?" I said, "'Cause we just live down the street from you." There you go. Met it. Not a physically close neighbor. He does live on another street, but he lives on a street that we have to go down to go to our street. So we pass his house every time we go out. It was weird. But oh my goodness, the food. Woo! So we did get to go there, and the people we were with managed to get time to go to Chocolate Tofino. They do all their own chocolates and ice cream. And then they have this thing called the chocolate elixir. If you ever get to Tofino, go to Chocolate Tofino and get the chocolate elixir. It's like a hot chocolate drink, but it's more like melted chocolate drink. I stamped the left side on the envelope, Val. The right side on the inside. Sorry, I guess it's confusing. Because I'm nattering. Oh, a fish burrito? Well, deep fried cod, because that's the fish part. And then refried beans and their coleslaw and jalapenos and salsa. Oh my. It was good, Jean. So I just went around the outside of the inside just to give it a bit of definition when I put it inside the card, because it's going on a white card base. So we did get those. we didn't get to Jiggers, which is our favorite fish truck in Ucluelet, because they were closed. We didn't get to Howlers, which in Tofino, which is our favorite hamburger joint, where they have an arcade and bowling lanes for the kids, because they were closed. However, we did get to try a new place, Papa's Fish or something or other fish. We did takeout. They were delivering. They delivered right to our trailer. And it was good. But that's it. So the only restaurants we got to do, we didn't get to go to Wildside Grill. We didn't get to do our sushi. Yeah. It was a little disappointing, but, you know, some things you don't have any control over. Okay, so now I'm going to color this, the chick on the envelope too, but you can't really blend well on the envelope because it doesn't have the same coating that the cardstock has. And if you use too much ink, it goes right through. So if you want, you can slip a piece of paper inside the envelope so you can get lots of ink on it, or you can just do what I do and don't use too much ink. And we did want to go to Long Beach and walk Long Beach, but I don't know, 10 days, we ran out of time. So we did that on the way back. We stopped and had our lunch in our trailer there and walked out onto the beach with the puppies. And there was barely anybody there. I don't think... Long Beach is 10 kilometers long. And of course I can't see down the other end because it was a long ways away. But where we were, I don't think there was more than 6 people plus us. Which is huge because usually there's lots because it's a favorite surfing place. But we had a good picnic and a good cold walk on the beach. Holy man, it was cold. Okay, there we are. There's the chick one done. That didn't take too long. So we'll put that to the side. I know, Jean, no sushi. Oh my gosh, we drool every time we think of sushi in Tofino. We drool all year long. And then we get there and they're closed. But apparently, we wouldn't have been able to go even if COVID wasn't happening because apparently they closed for the winter this year. He goes to Costa Rica or something. Or is it Costa Rica? One or the other. He goes there every year and he didn't stay open and he stayed away longer. So he wasn't scheduled to reopen until after we got home. After we were scheduled to get home. Yeah. It was disappointing. Our oldest grandson always has his birthday while we're there. And he has his whole day planned of things. We go to Ucluelet. We have our fish and chips at Jigger's fish truck. And then we walk the Wild Wet Coast Trail, West Coast. I call it Wild Wet Coast. It is actually called the Wild West Coast Trail. And then we go to Howlers for dinner and then go home. So we spend the whole day in Yuki having fun, and he had it all planned, and that none of it, well, we got the walk, but everything else was closed. He did get his eggy toast from Grandpa in the morning, though. He, they call it eggy toast, not French toast, because all it is eggs on crunchy bread, which is like an Alpine bread. And we did do that. So that started the day out okay. And then we just ended up going home and having food at home. And then the next day we ordered from the fish place in Tofino, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. But it was good. I had chicken wings. Apparently I'm addicted right now to chicken wings. I was introduced to them. Yes, Jean, I understand. You have to be really careful because it has to be made right or you could have issues. Okay, eggy toast. Was I talking eggy toast? What was I talking about? I don't know. I was nattering on about something while I was stamping. Okay, now the Father's Day is actually 2 stamps. It's Happy and Father's Day. And I want to try it out first before I stamp it onto my cardstock because I don't know whether I got it lined up. So we're just going to stamp it and find out. That's not bad. Look, it's almost straight. It'll do. Okay. I like chicken. I do. We had chicken last night. I did a kind of like a little stir fry thing. It's a little crooked on the paper, but it doesn't matter because we're die cutting it. Okay, I need my magnetic platform. And we have a wow happening, so I'm just going to flip my plate over. And there's the die for it. And I'll just run that through quickly. Well, not quickly. I'm going to run it through slowly because it makes it a better cut. It gives the cardstock time to be cut. Now this one has a whole bunch of little holes all the way around it. So I'm just going to pull out my take your pick tool and get rid of all the stuff left in here. When you die cut and you have like holes or small bits, always make sure you take all the pieces out of your die before you cut the next one, because otherwise you won't get it cut properly. Okay, now let's cut the sailboat out. Just kind of have to wing it. I haven't used the sailboat yet. I'm doing this method, so I'm not even sure what it's going to look like. But it's a sailboat, so how bad can it be? There we are. Look at that. Just chopped off the top a little bit, but nobody will know. Okay, so I think I'm going to get the light Night of Navy Stampin' Blends and just do the hull. And then I'll get the light Seaside Spray. I have the light Seaside Spray, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water down here underneath it. Just a bit of a shadow. Like that. There we are. All right, let's put this on our circle. Oh, Valerie. Oh, I bet that took you a long time. I have to start organizing getting rid of celebration stuff. I have to take all the samples down from my inspiration walls. Someday I should take the camera to my studio and show everyone my inspiration walls. I have lots of cards hanging out. Yeah, your order's supposed to be there tomorrow, Val. It's taking Stampin' Up 4 to 5 business days right now to pick orders because they're making sure that they are doing social distancing with their employees. So some of them are working Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and some are working Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just so they can have their 6 feet or 10 feet or whatever it is. So it's taking a bit longer, but that's okay. It's coming. They haven't stopped commerce from coming across the border yet. We can still order. Okay, happy Father's Day. Now, this one I did real straight. This one, I think I'm going to put it on there crooked, because I can. There we are. Now we just have to stamp the inside piece. Get out my scrappy paper again. Tuck it under there. And get my sailboat back. Oh, sure. Maybe that'll be my next Facebook Live. I'll take you on a tour of my studio, which is very lonely at the moment because it's down the other end of my house, nowhere near where my craft room is. And with nobody being able to do face-to-face classes anymore, it's quite lonely, and we can't even use it as a dinner table and have family members over because, of course, now we're all in isolation. Well, not isolation, social distancing. We were all camping together, and it was fine because we were going the same places and seeing the same things and people every day, so we were okay being closer than the usual. We're saying 10 feet. But now we're home. Of course, they're grocery shopping, and I'm going to be grocery shopping, so we kind of have to stay away from each other. So that the grandchildren, all 3 of them, are now on the kids' version of Messenger, which is so cute to watch them interact with their friends, because lots of their friends are also getting this Messenger app so that they can talk with their friends. Yesterday, the oldest one called me and we played a game of dice together. It was lovely. Okay, getting the seaside spray marker to go around the outside of the inside. Yeah, so we played a game of dice on Facebook video. Grandma lost again. It's a good thing I've won a bunch of games in my life, because if I am a constant loser, I could get a complex from this. Because truly, they are card sharks. And they're ruthless. A prairie sailing Jean? That's funny. Oh, Diana, good. It's good to dung your craft room out every once in a while. We were going to have a garage sale late April or early May, but yeah, that's on hold for right now. I love Sail Away. We used to have our own sailboat. It was a 32-foot sailboat, and we could live aboard it if we wanted, but there was nowhere near enough room for my craft room, so I couldn't do that. But we spent many hours on. Our first sailboat was a 27-footer when we used to take the kids out when we lived up north. And we spent many happy hours. But it's just so expensive to keep a boat now. We got rid of it 4 or 5 years ago now. And at that time, it was over $4,000 for the moorage for the year. Not my idea of a good time. That's a lot of money to be spent on somewhere to park your boat. Okay, so I'm just laying the cards out for you so you can see. How's that? Can you see them? Oh, good, Diana. Yeah, it will do the garage sale. I just don't know when yet. Okay, so there's the cards. Same layout for all 4 of them, just switching up the colors and switching up the stamped images. And now's a good time to make a bunch of cards so that you can send them off and brighten somebody's day. I have heard all over Facebook, they're suggesting that you, while I'm talking, I'll show you the recipe again. They're suggesting to send cards to people who live in facilities like retirement homes and assisted living and extended care and stuff. But now they're saying don't, because a lot of them are not allowing the cards inside. But people are going to visit their relatives and talking through windows and hanging hearts up outside, just so the people know that they're still thought of. Okay, so there you go. So I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to start, let me just show you here what my next project is. Our northern daughter-in-law is expecting in June. And when they have, that'll be grandchild. We don't know what color it is. Okay, we don't know what gender it is. So each time our daughter-in-laws have been pregnant, I've made a belly book for them out of a star album, and then they take belly progression pictures as the pregnancy is going along, and then I take those belly pictures and put them in the star album and do a punch art of a pregnant lady on the front. So I'm starting that as soon as I get my club stuff sorted out. So maybe we can do some of that together one of these days. But yeah, tomorrow I can do a walkthrough of my studio before I take all my stuff down. Don't forget, celebration's still on for the next 5 days. There are still some stuff, and then there was the second release, or the third release came out, and that's stuff from the annual catalog, and you can choose from red rhinestones, the mini shipping boxes, follow your art paper, dino roar paper, woven threads paper, shimmer detailed laser cut specialty paper, rococo rose blend combos. Those are all with a $60 order, and if you have a $120 order, you can choose either the Butterfly Duet Punch or the Wild Rose dies. So if you order the Wild Rose stamp set and some other stuff, then you can get the dies for free. That's cool. So that's while supplies last, or until March the 31st. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm just blabbing. Oh, I did do 2 draws yesterday. My draw board, and I had a special draw board for people who came to classes during March, and I did a draw for that. So, Valerie, guess what? Valerie, you won the little ladybug bundle. You get the stamp set and the dies. Yay, Val! Woo. I know Stampin' Up has a preggy stamp, but I don't have it. And it's really easy to make a pregnant lady out of punch art, and I like doing punch art. So Valerie, congratulations on winning the ladybug stamp set and the matching dies. They'll be in the mail for you as soon as I can get up to the post office. And then I did a final draw for the draw board. And Carmen F., if you watch this in the repeat, which I know you sometimes do, Carmen F. from Port Alberni, You are, congratulations. You won the whole, hang on, I'll show you. The Forever Blossoms bundle. Look at this. So there's a stamp set, the dies, the Parisian Flourish embossing folder, some ribbon, the petal pink metallic edge ribbon, and the designer paper. I was hoping to put rhinestones in there, but they're back ordered still. So if I can order them and get them in, I will get them those for you as well. So congratulations to Carmen and Valerie. Okay, that's it. I'm done nattering and blabbering away. It's time for me to go and get busy on my club card videos for the day. Have a wonderful day. And it's so special that we get this crafting time in our lives. I think this is the universe or the God, whichever you believe in. It's their way of telling us to slow down. It's time to slow down and smell the roses, be kind, and spend time with your family or in your craft room or both. So have a wonderful day, and I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a quick run through my studio so you can see what my inspiration walls look like. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.